testimony is one of Catholicism, heartache, drug addiction, incarceration, hospitalization to redemption. I will detail my upbringing as a Roman Catholic. I will talk about my rebellion after my father passed away. My time spent in juvenile hall for selling marijuana, and my eventual release and return to the street life and hospital visit and subsequent redemption. I was raised in the Catholic Church my entire life. From the earliest memories of my childhood, I can recall my mother forcing me to pray the rosary, which made absolutely no difference in my life. I reluctantly attended Friday's charismatic service and Sunday Mass. The best thing about the services was the food after we got out. I would drink and eat the blood and body, but nothing was different. Eventually, my mother told us to become altar boys. Me and my sister became the altar boy and girl. At the age of 13, I attended a charismatic meeting where Jesus appeared to me in a vision, and I fell under the power of God. A small Hispanic nun had prayed for me on Olympic and 18th Street in downtown LA at the Olympic Center that is now torn down. Charismatic services were unlike the Mass, and there was something that was missing in my life. I left knowing that God had touched me, but I did not know Him or understand what had just transpired. No one bothered explaining in detail. About a year later, my father had a heart attack and died on a dialysis machine for his kidneys. He was only 56 and was about to turn 57. The day before, I had been treating him bad. I threw stuff at him because I wanted to watch movie 187, but did not have the money. Previous to this point, I had hurt him. I was holding a grudge because he hurt my mother in the past. The resentment of him not being there for us and leaving for weeks on end had left the void. Even though I had a father, he was never there. The day he died at the hospital, me and my mother held his dead body. He had bitten his tongue due to the heart attack. I begged him for forgiveness for treating him bad on the day before. I was heartbroken. I would never see him again, was my thought. I never had a chance to ask him for forgiveness while he was alive. I did not realize how much I loved him. 11th was forever engraved in my mind. That day I realized life was finite, but also became angry at God. That fall, I started high school. Only a handful of my friends from my junior high school went to this specific high school that was located on the east side of town. This began my exploration with drugs and alcohol. A friend of mine lived close to the church. I was able to sneak away and smoke and drink without notice. I slowly became dependent on the drugs and alcohol to relieve the pain of my father's loss. I began fighting at school and eventually got kicked out. I attended a continuation school that was located close by. At the age of 16, I was caught selling marijuana. I went to juvenile hall and shortly after juvenile camp. I was released and continued my previous lifestyle. I would eventually get caught again selling drugs and was sentenced to a year to boot camp. I was supposed to spend the whole year there. However, I managed to get on the staff's good side and went to fire camp. This allowed me more freedom, daily work outside of the camp. It was much better than lying in a dorm all day. I learned discipline and hard work at the fire camp. I was soon released and back on the streets, and ended up in the hospital after an altercation and a broken jaw. That was the first time I saw my mother cry the way she did. I tried to change on my own and stop smoking drugs and joined a boxing gym. I went back to school and joined the summer fire crew. A year later, I was back to smoking drugs and drinking. Nearly all my friends had betrayed me, and I was left to think how I had destroyed my life. I attended a church meeting at a small congregation and decided it was time to get real with God. As I bowed my head, I truly repented and believed in my heart and felt as light as a feather. I was no longer high on marijuana, but something had changed. I went to the church from that day forward. I eventually did leave that church because of false teachings and control. I've been walking with God for 15 years strong now, and will never look back. I went back to college, got a degree in engineering. Praise God.